Thanks, Jesse. Hi, everybody. I am Cami Kroll. I am the IT and Development Director at Grow Nebraska, and I am really excited that you hopped on for today's webinar. It's all about starting your business online, and I'm going to provide you with the tips and tricks. It's not so much about getting your business online, but it's how you can get your business to thrive. How can you find your customers and um, have that engagement that is going to get them in your door or get them to buy your product. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Um, First, maybe you're excited you did it. You're online. Whether that means you opened your own Shopify store, created a Facebook business page, heck, you might have even dived into social media for the first time. Or maybe you're already on there. And then you made your first sale. That's terrific. You're so excited. Then what? What comes next? What do you do now that you're online? Your energy just plummeted. The customers aren't coming. If you're feeling like this little girl where you had that peak, that high of you did it, you figured it out, and then your energy is just drained of how do you keep up? How do you keep that momentum? How do you exist in such a saturated environment? It's kind of becoming the new norm of shopping online. And it's not necessarily that everyone's making the purchases online, but they're going online before they come in. So that might mean that they're shopping around before they enter your brick and mortar store. So regardless of if you're able to have someone do a full transaction online, even if you're just a service business, or even if you're only able to sell goods as a brick and mortar, it's still crucial that you have an online presence. 63% of all shopping begins online. That means people are shopping around. They are comparing best pricing. They're looking to see if you're open. Maybe they're looking for a phone number to contact you. A lot of people are scrolling through social media looking for something to capture their attention or what they're going to cook for supper. Depending on what your business is, how is your online presence? Are you meeting your customers where they're shopping? Are you making it convenient for them to find you, to connect with you? Know who your clients are. Are you serving an older generation? Are you catering to the younger generation? Where are your customers at? Are they the ones that love to be on social media? Are they the ones picking up the newspaper? Maybe they're the ones that are tweeting all the time. Who are your customers? That's going to determine a lot of how you get your business online. So let's really dive into what some of these tips and tricks are. Now that I've kind of talked about some different things that hopefully got your mind thinking about your business, thinking about what you have to offer and who your clients are. Let's dive in and start giving you practical things that you can take away that will help get better exposure for your business and brand. So this should come to no surprise. Google loves Google. A couple fun facts about Google is Google is officially a verb. If you don't know that, look it up in the Oxford English Dictionary. It's been there since at least 2006. And then Google also receives over 63,000 searches per second. Yes, you heard me right. That is per second, 63,000 searches per second. That is why we want you to be able to have an online presence, because so many people are using the phrase, Google it. Just Google it. Just Google that business and find out information. Well, give them something to Google. Make sure that you're there. We can't stress enough how important your Google map is. If you haven't searched your own business, do it. Look at what comes up in the first page and then see if there's anything over here on that right-hand side. That right-hand side is your Google map. Are there images? Does it have the right address? What about the store hours, the phone number? That information is critical. As I stated earlier, people are turning online before they start shopping. That means that if someone's looking for your shop, even if they plan on coming into your store physically to shop, they might search online to see where you're located. Maybe they want to know what the front of your building looks like. So um, they feel confident walking into your door. They know without a doubt, this is the business I want to go into. Maybe they're looking for your hours. Well, the easiest way to lose a customer is to have inaccurate information on this page. So search and see if you have a Google map. Set it up. Go to google.com/business. This will get you where you need to go so that you can start owning your own Google map, so that you can start uploading your pictures, you can update your information. Another very important thing that I don't think I can stress enough is Google never calls you. Don't fall for any of the scams that are out there. If you receive a phone call promising that you can make it up on page one and it's only going to cost you this and they can improve your search engine optimization, please don't fall for it. We are a Google Premier partner. We work directly with trained Google employees, and they have stressed to us that they never call. They will not offer you this. So spread the word. If someone calls you claiming that they're Google, promising you all these wonderful things, please don't fall for it. Just um, hit your Google map hard and it'll start showing results. And yes, there is a page two of Google. If you don't know that, it does exist, but we always joke that it's the perfect place to hide things because who actually turns to page two anymore? There's a page two, three, four, but everyone looks on that page one for information. So, are you coming up? Do you have enough SEO? Do you have enough current information on your social media, on your Google map to come up on page one? This Google map is a great starting point because it always shows up on page one. It's always on the right-hand side to show location, your address, and even reviews. So people can review your business. They can um, just talk about what they experienced. We'll dive into reviews a little later in the presentation on their importance. So Google My Business. Now that you have your Google map claimed, now what? Um, well, people look at these and Google is great about sending you results. So one way to get more attention to your business is by updating your Google My Business page. You can do that by adding photos. You can do that by adding posts. I would recommend that you set a goal of updating this 2 to 3 times a month to start with. This is a good starting point, especially if you haven't ever dived into your Google My Business page. Where to start? Make sure that you have a photo of the outside of your business, especially if you are a brick and mortar. People want to know what your business looks like so they can anticipate where they need to go, or they can easily identify it if they're driving to you. So make sure you have good outside pictures. Maybe you're not a brick and mortar, maybe you're just a product business. How are your products looking? If you've seen these pictures, does it entice you to want to buy it? Do you feel an experience when you see this picture? Are you giving ideas of how they can use your picture or your um, services? And then this might seem um, like a no-brainer, but include your logo. Again, you have to brand your business. So make sure that your logo is included on your Google My Business page. I promised we'd get to reviews, and here they are. So reviews mean a lot. People are looking at reviews whether they're buying a product or whether they want to um, come to your business, whether they want to use your services. People pay attention to reviews these days. And don't focus so much on only the good reviews. Because if someone is looking at your business and it's 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, and there's nothing that varies, they're going to question if those are paid reviews or fake reviews. Like, everyone has that flaw. And everyone knows that it's easy for people to, I wouldn't say easy, it's motivating for people to speak up when they're upset about something. So nowadays, people come to expect a bad review. It just depends on how many you're getting. And Grow Nebraska has learned that sometimes those negative reviews help you improve your business. The font on your uh, t-shirt to be larger, but you don't know that until you got a bad review that said, "Love it, love the saying, just wished it would have been bigger. So I'm giving you a 3-star review." Reviews like that can be helpful. Um, but those bad reviews kind of give you a validation that you're a real business, and um, make sure that each review you receive, you go in and comment on it, because then that shows other people the type of business you are, how easy you are to work with, and it makes you real. I always say that you should ask for that 5-star review, and people don't seem to just leave reviews, so make sure you start asking. People sometimes will verbalize to us that say, um, "Wow, I love the customer experience. I had so much fun shopping in this store." If someone says something like this, it's easy just to slip in there, "Hey, I'm so glad you shopped with us. Do you mind leaving us a 5-star review?" It would mean a lot. If you're shipping product, don't don't feel bad putting a piece of marketing material in there that asks them to leave a review. Give them the URL so that they know exactly where to go. Start with your best customers. If you know that you have someone who maybe uses your service or product um, on a regular basis, start by asking them. Start by asking them to leave a 5-star review for you. It'll just help people understand your business better. Website. Maybe you have a website, or maybe you have an online store. One thing I want to start with is that not all of these tips and tricks are going to be for everybody. And I want to start by saying that I don't think it's necessary for everybody to have um, their online presence be a website or be an online shopping store. Why? Because sometimes that's not your target for your customers. However, if you do have the website and you have the online shopping store, then I want to dive in with giving you some advice on how you can just take it up a notch. So, nearly half of consumers shop on mobile devices. If you have a relatively new site, chances are it's already mobile responsive. A lot of the website hosting platforms that people tend to move on, so Shopify or um, WordPress, Wix, Square, a lot of them moved to automatically having mobile responsive designs. If you've had a website or a store that's been on for over 10 years, I would take a look at this uh, because it might not be mobile responsive. Have you checked out what your sites look like on different devices? On your computer, a tablet, a phone? If you haven't, do so, because the shopping experience is a lot different and you'll instantly know if it's mobile responsive or not. What that means is the text shrinks to the different sizes, kind of as the example here. If your site's not, then words might be cutting off. You might not have a button where you're supposed to have it. It just doesn't look or and it doesn't function as for your users. So if you're wondering why you don't have very many sales, maybe it's because you don't have a mobile responsive site. It might be as easy as just updating your theme, um, or you might just have to um, take your idea and relaunch a new site. One thing I want to state is that if you plan on running a successful e-commerce website, it has to be mobile responsive. There's no way around it because mobile shopping is just so high. Everyone's using mobile devices these days. And I know I'm guilty of it. I might search for something on my computer and then maybe I have a car ride and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't get finished with that. So I'm hopping on my mobile device. Uh, People want that same look and feel so they know how to navigate your website. The fact is that over 50% of cart abandonments are due to the extra shipping costs, those kind of hidden fees that people aren't expecting or aren't wanting when they go to checkout. They might be really excited for the quality of product, for the price of the product, and then they get slammed with the shipping and they think, not worth it. I don't want this anymore. Uh, and it doesn't have to be just shipping. If there's any other fees that your business uh, might need to collect on, don't hide them at the end. People do not like the element of surprise when they're shopping. It's best to disclose all the information up front. So if you have to tack on a certain amount for shipping, or um, say you're getting something printed and there is a one-time setup fee, state it in the beginning. Make sure that by the time they get to the checkout, what they see is what they expect. It'll help your sales, it'll help reduce how many people leave your site. Uh, we definitely know that shipping isn't free. It costs, and it just keeps rising every year, the cost of shipping. So, how do you work around that? How do you give your customer what they want while still making a profit? A couple ideas is to build in the cost of shipping, add that into the product, and then offer free shipping or state that shipping is included. Maybe you crunch numbers and say, okay, if you purchase over $50, you get free shipping. That could be a very successful way to just entice people to buy more of your product. Another thing is that once you have your customer to your site, do you have a way, or are you offering a reoccurring option? So maybe it's a product where they like it so much that they want it every other month. Do you have an easy way for them to do that? Another thing to think about for your website or your online store is, how's your navigation? Is it easy? Does it make sense? And don't rely on your own intuition for this. Ask your friends or your family to evaluate it. Better yet, ask um, a, a third party. Maybe it's a, a business friend of yours to, hey, do you mind telling me what you think? Or can you navigate to this page in my website? Does it make sense? If it's not easy, then you're losing more potential customers. Do you have quality content? Yes, it's true. People today have an attention span that's less than that of a goldfish. However, while majority of people might not read the quality content, it's crucial to have it on your site because search results need that quality content so that it helps you go higher in searches that are applicable for your site. So make sure you have that quality content for your consumers that actually want to know more about it and for search results. SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. If you're seeing meta titles and SEO or tags and you're thinking to yourself, what in the world are those? I have never heard of those. And you're someone who has an online store or you have a website, then you definitely need to find out where to go to add these in. Those meta titles is what's going to help you control what displays when someone searches your website. So say they search for your product and hey, you're on page 1. What's that title that shows across there? That's the meta title. You can control what that says. Um, why you want to control this is because just because you got on page 1, the next step is actually getting the searcher to come to your site. And so you can control what that says. You can place a command, you can place your business name on there. I would definitely make sure that your meta titles have your business name, so you're branding yourself. And make it clear what they can expect when they come to this page. People don't like to be fooled, and so you don't want the people who aren't actually wanting your product. So be honest and be clear about what they can expect when they come to your page when you're working with meta titles and SEO and tags. These are what people will search for. So do you have accurate tags? If your product, say, is coffee, are you stating um, some things that your tag should be coffee, Nebraska coffee, whatever your company name is, best coffee, is it whole bean or ground? If it's both, put um, whole grain coffee or whole bean coffee, uh, the flavor of coffee. You're gonna feel like you're really repetitive, so let's use Arbor Day for an example. I would put Arbor Day coffee, um, Arbor Day coffee ground, Arbor Day coffee whole bean, Arbor Day coffee made in Nebraska, Arbor Day coffee free shipping, uh, best whole bean coffee, best ground coffee. You kind of get a sense of where I'm going with this. It's important to have your SEO and your tags. And um, another thing is that um, SEO and tags go right along with the quality of content. You want to make sure that the words that you're putting in your SEO and tags are also content on your page. Um, and feel free to ask people, hey, if you're going to search for Arbor Day coffee, what would you look for? Some people might say, I'll search Arbor Day coffee. Some people might say, I'll search Do Good coffee, because I know that when you purchase Arbor Day coffee, part of your purchase goes back. Um, so really, I'd encourage you to take a look at all these things. If you tell me I'm hands off on my website, I have a website developer do that or a designer do that, then take a moment, send them an email or call them and say, hey, can we look at our meta titles, our SEO, our tags? Because it doesn't hurt to update them. And sometimes what you start out with, there's things you can add. Maybe you need to reevaluate some of your content on your pages and just take it up a notch. When you go in and keep updating things, that also shows search engines that, hey, I am a current website, I have accurate information, and so when it compares you with a competitor that maybe hasn't updated, your website, your shopping store is going to come up just a little higher. And so it's important to keep making those changes. It really does make a difference. The last thing on this slide is Instagram worthy pictures. Pictures speak volumes, so do videos. So I always like to say, is it Instagram worthy? For those of you who are on Instagram, you'll understand that Instagram is all about the quality of photo. If you don't have a good photo, it shouldn't go on Instagram. Instagram, think of it as those mouth-watering images, those images that make you want to maybe be that person or wear that clothing or have that product. Is it Instagram worthy? Does it draw you in? Is it high quality? If it's not Instagram worthy, let's figure out how to get it there. Uh, Nowadays, it might be as easy as using your own phone or borrowing someone's phone to take that high quality photo. Do a little bit of staging for your product, or um, if you're offering a service, do you have smiling faces in your pictures? Do you show yourself working with customers? People want to see pictures. They need those pictures to tell the story for you. Um, so Instagram worthy. Social media. Uh, it might come to a surprise for some of you, but my recommendation is do not be on every platform right off the gate. Start small, become a master, and be intentional. So it goes back to knowing who your customers are. Know, do a little research. Find out, okay, this is who I want to be my customer. This is my ideal age. This is my ideal gender. This is my ideal location, whatever it may be. And then find out what platforms your customers are on. Maybe they're on Facebook. Maybe it's Pinterest. Maybe it's Twitter. Whichever one they're primarily on, that's where you should start with your social media endeavors. Become a master of it. And maybe you've been on Facebook for a while now and you feel really confident in it, and you would say, yeah, I think I could consider myself a master. Then maybe it's time for you to look at the second platform you should branch out on. Um, it is not a good idea just to go all in on everything, because then you have your hands in a little too many pots and you're not able to stir them all at once. Become a master and really utilize the capabilities of these platforms. And so, regardless of what social media you're on, get your customers to share, get your followers, um, and set goals of getting more followers each month, each week. Word of mouth is best. So it goes back kind of to that asking for a review. Ask people to follow you. If you are a brick and mortar, do people know how to follow you? Is there any signage up? Are you making it easy? Are you asking people to recommend you to their friends, your top supporters, that I'm on this social media platform, follow me? Then, once you're on that platform, look at who your best customers are and start following them. See what type of things they like. It might just spark that design inspiration that you need to create your next post, or it might give you insight on, oh, wow, I knew that this was my customer, but I didn't realize this. Next, create engagement. Be intentional and think through what the purpose of this post is. Am I posting this because I want to introduce a new product? Do I want them to buy it? Maybe I want to do a fun post and just ask my followers what they're doing for Memorial Weekend. Um, just create that buzz to get more people to find you on social media. Once you're on social media, make sure that you're linking things. So if you have a shopping store, or if you have a website, are your links on there? And I would say check this. Go to your website, go to your store, look to see if that icon is there. If the icon is there, thumbs up. But make sure you actually click it, because sometimes those templates, if you're just using a template, it automatically has the social media, but it doesn't have that link. So did you remember to go back in and add your link to the social media so it becomes an active hyperlink? Uh, if you're sending emails, put it in your email signature of what social media you're on or how people can connect with you. You never know who might become your next biggest customer. Are you doing any marketing campaigns? If you are, make sure you're branding yourself. Make sure you're giving them a way to stay in touch with you for that next deal or that next new product that might be released. I kind of alluded to this already, but when you're doing a post, um, are you linking to it? So this post in particularly, they're introducing a new great product, but then they say shop premium hand wash. So they're telling you that you can actually go and buy this and giving you that direct link. Go take a look at some of your posts. Do you have a command in there? Are you telling them what you want them to do? Do you make it easy by putting a link? Just make sure that you slow down in this fast paced world enough to be intentional and to really brand yourself well. Video. Just like I said, how your photos should be Instagram worthy. Well, video is right next to those quality pictures. Uh, I have a statistic here that 68% of consumers would prefer to watch a video than to read about maybe how to use the product or best practices with the product. So that's 68% of consumers. Video is becoming increasingly, um, I want to say more popular, but more relevant for everything. It's on every platform. We're almost inundated with videos these days. So, what type of videos are you going to do? Maybe you're a little timid at first, so start small. Maybe you do a Facebook Live or a social media live. Maybe you do a simple recording on your phone so that you can do it and watch yourself and then do it again so that the next time it's better. Use video. Show them ways to use your product. Get creative. Maybe it's showing them a recipe or introducing yourself. Something I'm going to touch on a little bit later is storytelling. Use video to tell your story. People want to have a connection with you. Give them a reason to love your brand and your business and what you stand for and why you got started. The more someone can connect with you, the more they're going to remember your business and the more likely they are to be a return customer. And so think about ways you can do that with video. And videos don't need to be long. They can be short. Um, again, people's attention spans are not that long. Aim for 30 seconds or 30 seconds to 3 minutes, and then put it online. So you need to either do it live or record it and post it to your social media. And then remember to repurpose those. So if you're selling that product on a shopping site, do you have that video linked to that product so people can watch it when they're deciding whether they need to buy it or not? Um, if you talk about your business and you have a website, maybe that needs to be on the home page so people have a perfect introduction into what type of company you are. Um, don't be afraid. Um, use video. Tell your story. It seems like Nebraskans are too humble, or maybe they don't realize how unique and how awesome your business is. But you need to tell your story. It's crucial because you're not you're you have competitors and you're online. And so why should someone buy or use your product versus the competitors? Why should I spend $3 more for this bar of soap when I can go to a department store and buy the same thing? Tell them why. Tell them about the quality. Maybe it's handmade. Maybe every purchase um, goes back to benefit a third world country, or maybe you donate to the local um, food pantry for every unit sold. How did you get started in your business? That's part of your story. Are you a family owned and operated for 25 plus years? These are things that people want to know. These are things that you should want to tell people. Think about having a conversation with someone and just talking about your business. That's your story. Use your passion for your business and put it down on paper. When you put that on paper, people can feel the difference. They can feel the quality that goes into it. They can feel the compassion that you have for your customers and your clients. You need to tell your story. So, again, use your passion for your business, put it down on paper, and I will suggest that if you are not a very, if you don't write well, reach out. There are businesses that are content writers that can help with this. Maybe you were featured in a magazine or a newspaper. You know, are- can you pull that information? Can you use what someone wrote as a starting point for telling your story? No matter what platform you're on online, there's a spot to put your story. Please do that because people need to know what why your business stands out. So now that you're diving into online, there are analytics for that. No matter what platform you're on, whether you're a website, whether you're on social media, there are um, easy, typically built-in tools that will tell you um, how things did. So you need to pay attention to these. I'll kind of give a couple different examples. So, say you have a store or a website, you can connect it to Google Analytics and get a lot more details, and that will also help um, boost your site within Google searches at least because it's connected. But also, um, 90% of the time, the platform you're on has analytics already built in, so it's at least a snippet of what is possible to read. So some of the reasons you want to do analytics for your website is to see if there is a page that has a slow load time. Um, because if it's a slow load time, then chances are you're losing potential customers and potential clients because we're impatient people nowadays who don't want to wait for something to load. What am I going to change to make my website perform better in search results? You can see what people are searching for to land on your website, which might help you improve your tags, your SEO. And so um, analytics on social media will tell you what posts did good. So as you start creating these posts, uh, you can compare them. I always say you want to make your best better and be intentional. I've said that time and time again, but don't just post to post. Uh, Figure out why you want to post it. And then analytics is going to tell you which of those posts did well. Work smarter, not harder. Go and take your top performing post and duplicate it. You know, tweak it, but use the same ideas from it because that resonated with your followers maybe the month before. So why not see if it will resonate just in a different variation the next month? These analytics are going to help you figure out where your followers are at. You might be surprised that you have a huge following in Montana or Georgia. And so that could help you then turn around and do maybe a paid targeted ad in that area. Analytics can help you with a lot of things. So just start by looking into it, but definitely make a point to slow yourself down and look at analytics, whether it's once a month, once a quarter, uh, do it. It will help you um, find the good and maybe the not so good of how you can keep improving your business and getting more exposure and more of the customer and clientele that you want. So, now here's some takeaways. Um, just to recap, everyone on today, as soon as we finish up, and there are going to hopefully still time for some questions, as soon as we're done, before anyone knows you're off of this webinar, pause and go to your browser to search your business. What comes up? Does your Google map come up? Start utilizing that Google map and start posting photos or posts 2 to 3 times per month. Set a goal for yourself. Give them these reviews so that it's hard for them to say no. It's hard for them to walk away. They're going to keep remembering your brand and what that passionate customer said. So start asking your top clients, your top customers to leave that 5-star review. Start getting those reviews. It really will help get more of the clientele or customers that you want. Then you need to use your analytics to determine how to just take your business up a notch. You're going to understand what worked best and what didn't work that you thought maybe would. And then it might also generate different ideas or inspiration on how you can keep um, mastering the social media or mastering the website that you're on. Finally, smiling faces. Do that Instagram worthy picture and make sure you use it on any online platform you're on. Repurpose the work that goes into staging a photo or um, getting that quality. Don't just use it on one platform. If you have a website or you're on social media, use it on those and then turn around and use it on your Google My Business page. Repurpose things. And then also remember, smiling faces look great in videos. And not everyone's comfortable in videos, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. And honestly, it shows you authenticity to stumble or fumble your words. People can relate to it, and maybe it will make someone smile or laugh and engage for what you have to say. So maybe they're going to stick with you for the entire minute that you're talking. Try video because video is very relevant these days. So your next steps, again, set up and update your Google Map. I keep pushing the Google Map. I don't want you to forget about it because Google loves Google. And remember, there are 63,000 searches per second on Google. So why not make those searches be for your business? Make sure your business is on that page one. Improve your online presence by some of the steps that we talked about today, whether it's um, diving into social media or online, um, getting those posts. Look at your analytics to see maybe ways you can improve your site. Add those meta titles, those SEO, those tags. And finally, if you haven't started telling your story, do that. Tell your story. Be proud of your business and why you started it, or how um, how you've kept it going for generation after generation, and you've kept up with the changing times. People love to have personal relationships or make make them feel like they're part of your family. So start telling that story. Um, it'll be what someone remembers when they exit out of the online. Our goal is just to help entrepreneurs like yourself that's on today keep taking their business up a notch and um, thrive. We want you to be able to live in anywhere in Nebraska and make a living. And we don't want to see um, these mom and pop shops, these um, local shops close down because that's the heart of Nebraska. Um, and our communities need you. And so let Grow Nebraska help you keep your doors open. Let us give you the resources you need. If we're not the experts, we have a lot of referral sources. And so if you're interested, just check out grownebraska.org. And if you think of a business that might be interested, send them our way. I'm passionate about this, and I know the other team members of Grow Nebraska is very passionate about the work we do for the businesses that we are helping. And I'm really glad that you hopped on today so that um, I can just give you a few tips and tricks of how you can improve your business right away. And so, with that, um, we'll just open it up for any questions and answers. So, thanks again for attending. Um, I think Jesse is going to monitor the chat. And then um, if you think of any questions that come up afterwards, feel free to email me. My email is down at the bottom left corner. It's just cami@grownebraska.org. We would love to hear from you. We would love to hear even some of the ways that you've been creative in staying afloat during this time. Those stories are going to be very memorable and can definitely be a part of who you are in the future. So thanks again. We'll open it up for questions.